Hello, everyone. The keynote speaker number 12, dedicated to the memory of Lucy Maya and Rina D. The next kina on the morning of Tisha B'Av is a ko. We take basically the times in the Torah where God said, Ko Amar Hashem, thus says God, and promised us some wonderful thing in the first two lines. And then the next two lines we say, but unfortunately now everything is downtrodden and terrible, and those promises didn't come true. As a matter of fact, perhaps the opposite of those promises came true. And I believe that when you read this kina, it seems like we're just complaining. It seems like we're saying to God, listen, you promised this and it's not happening. You promised this and it's not happening, etc. I personally believe that Rav Eliezer HaKalir, the author, didn't mean that, but rather he meant something else. And that is a very basic message of Tisha B'Av, which is don't ever lose hope. I know that with the various events in Israel, that's very hard to say, but ultimately, that is the truth. That if the Jewish people did lose hope, we wouldn't have been in Israel, because simply they'd say we'd never get back here. If they would have lost hope, we would never come back to Jerusalem. The fact is that we didn't lose hope in the kos, in the various promises in the Torah, that said explicitly that God did promise and will bring upon us these various blessings in the right time and in the right place. So therefore, on Tisha B'Av, as we sit on the floor, indeed, one of the messages is don't ever lose hope that things will get better. This has many, many ramifications in Jewish law, and I'll just give two. Number one, we don't say Tachanun on Tisha B'Av because, quote unquote, it's called a moed. It's called a moed now, even though it's not much of a moed, because God willing in the future, it will be a moed. And number two, a very big question about Tisha B'Av is, do you educate children to the various events of the 3 weeks, 9 days, Tisha B'Av, and whatnot? There is a school of thought that says it's like any other mitzvah. But there is a school of thought that says no, because hopefully next year it won't be a day of fasting, it will be a day of feasting. And thus, why are you educating them for? Why are you going ahead and educating people for something that won't stand in the calendar for next year? So I believe indeed, as we say this kina on Tisha B'Av, we have to always remember one underlining principle. Don't lose hope that things will get better.